Hello, everyone. It's Kim. I wanted to touch base. We had such an amazing event this weekend, and I want to say thank you to everyone who was a part of it. It was extraordinary. We have obviously we live streamed it, and there were so many people all over the world tuning in. My whole family was tuning in. My husband and my kids, and that was just awesome. They were super supportive and super excited about it, and it really touched a lot of people, and I'm so grateful that we did live stream it. With the way that travel arrangements change, and that not everyone could come live, and we hooked up with this amazing guy. He was such a love. He was like, "We'll accommodate what you guys need," and was able to be with us and get the room all hooked up, and it was a beautiful, beautiful recording. So what the theme was around was manifesting. And anytime like we're stepping into something ourselves, like I'm stepping in to share that next level of what is manifestation, it's who do I need to be in order to share that? Who do I need to be to hold space for those individuals coming in? Which there was some mega stuff that people released in that room. Like, it was so inspiring. And the recording's available, so everyone has access to this if you want to purchase the the program. It's at drkimd.com/Dallas, because we were in Dallas. But you'll see how powerfully people stood for who they're ready to be. Like, I'm not willing to carry this anymore. Once we become aware of what we're carrying that's keeping us from really having what we're really about, who we really are, it's like, I'm ready to let this go. The issue for so many of us is we're completely unconscious of what we're carrying. We are completely unconscious. And then it's like, why aren't things working out for me? But when you go through the work like this, it comes to the surface, and it's easy to see. And when it's easy to see, it's easy to choose beyond it. And I'm so proud of all the people who came up, and just everybody who was there, who was a part of it. It was amazing. You could really feel the collective shift, which was what my intention was for doing this event. Was like, the world is not the same. We are stepping into power and making a major change. And then on Sunday, which is right after my event, I was on Kyle Cease's event, and that was awesome. And everyone there was like equally receptive to like being willing to step into who they are. Like, that's a big deal, because a lot of people are still like, this doesn't make sense. My life's working out. You don't know my plight. This doesn't apply to me. And we're not really willing to like receive, because it can be hard to see what we're carrying. Someone said to me the other day in the Mind Body community in Facebook, so it's my fault, that I have this illness, and how can it be my fault? And it's up to me. I created this illness. Is that what you're saying? And it's really not that we are creating the illness. It's like we're holding the blocks to health. And we're creating it that, we don't get to have that healing, and we don't get to have that ease, and we don't get to have that abundance. Like, we're holding the blocks. We're not creating illness. But I know how it could land like that. It could land like, I'm creating this disease. But we create like what blocks the abundance, what blocks the love, what blocks the health, by holding on to just ideas about ourselves, ideas about what's possible, ideas about, you've had your experiences, but you don't realize how it gets locked into your system, that this is the way it is. Okay, so I'm not going to even try. Oh, this is the way it is. Okay, so I'm not going to even see that. Oh, this is the way it is. Okay, so I'm living in that conclusion. And it changes the way your brain processes information. So when you are open to like, oh, maybe it's not even like that. Maybe I am enough. Maybe I do have power. You'll see a lot more and access a lot more. So it was really, really powerful what we did in the room, and what people stood up for and stepped into, and it was amazing. I did share on Kyle Cease that the Awaken Your Business program is available. We've revised the whole thing and created it so more people can come into that program. There are a lot of people who, once we awaken, we realize like, what do I want to create? How do I want to do my life? Who do I really want to be, right? Maybe I thought I'm meant to be this, but like, wow, once I let go of all those ideas, sky's the limit. What am I really about? What do I really want to create? What really makes me come alive? And when I first started my work, I was an emergency medicine doctor, and I did have the awareness I was here to do something else that was in a whole different realm. But I didn't really know, like, how do I do that? How do I grow a business? How do I do online to share my message? And everything out there was in this like fear-based, separation-based lack frequency. And so all the people I would like get this program and get that program and do this mastermind. And it really led me off my center because it was all like this graspy, salesy, like low frequency stuff. And I honestly thought, I guess that's what I've got to do. Even though it really didn't feel, it didn't really feel right, but we're not always that connected in our own depth that we're consciously aware of that. So we're like, okay, let me try this out. And after a while, it was like, I'm pushing a boulder up a hill. This cannot be my path. And even though I didn't know what else was possible, I let that go. And, the more we connect with ourselves, the more wisdom, the more awareness. And I did have all the clarity of like, here's how to step into your business. Here's how to step into your message. Here's how to invite people to be a part of this with you. And it was all very, very, very different from everything I had been being taught by like experts in marketing or experts in health and wellness who had this like, I've got this huge business, I'm doing this thing. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what I want to do. But the closer I would get to this people, I would realize like, I don't want to have what she's having. This is not who I want to be. This person is not actually in joy. They're just in getting and getting and getting. And, it took me a lot of time, tens of thousands of dollars of investing to get that clarity. And I'm glad I got it. But then I realized like, why not create something that really does help people get a sense of like, how do I create an authentic business that really powerfully shares who I am, what I'm here to do, what I'm about. And so part of my mission as a physician is just assisting the creation of this new foundation for medicine. What is our medical system? So a medical system that's founded on true wellness, not just like, fixing the problem and putting a Band-Aid on the symptom, but actually bringing people into health. The people who are stepping into that, it's different. We're not learning it from a book and someone told me what to do and gave me a seal of approval and a star on my forehead and said, now you can go do this thing. No, it came from within ourselves of like, whoa, there's a gift here. There's a talent here. There's a healing gift. And how do I bring that to the world? And how do I inspire other people to make these changes? How do I inspire other people to receive this? And so the new medical system, which is really based on we are already whole, let's step into our wholeness, let's activate, the body heals itself. How do we activate that? It's going to come in a very different way. It will come from within us. It will come from our wisdom because it's coming from unity consciousness, not separation consciousness, right? 5D, not 3D. And so to create that, we've got to begin listening to ourselves in a much deeper way. We've got to be trusting our wisdom in a much deeper way. And like everything outside of us in the current 3D is like, no, there's nothing there. You need this certification. You need this thing. You've got to do these marketing strategies. And it's like, you can feel, it just feels really heavy. And that's because it's not true. And so one of my greatest inspirations was to share with other practitioners who are awakening to their own gifts or intuitive abilities or healing gifts, or say that they're really sensitive, but like, whoa, this could be really useful for people, to have ways to bring that to more people. We can heal the world, we can feed the world, but we've got to awaken within ourselves first. And then we've got to find like, oh, I value myself enough. I trust my wisdom enough. I'm free. I'm going to share this, as opposed to like, oh, I'm afraid. I don't know what to do. And then like reaching for all these graspy things that really just deplete us. So the Awaken Your Business program is a way, and there's videos like, how do you show up on video? And I guide you through these modules. How do you show up on video in a way that has power, in a way that people can feel you? Like, people all the time will tell me, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I needed to hear. That's exactly what I came for. And they like happen to show up in that 5 minutes to hear what was said, right? That's like you're tapping into synchronicity. You can't do that from the fear-based marketing strategies. Like, oh my God, you'd have to work so hard to ever try to make that happen, and it really won't happen. Versus if you're in your organic and you're in your moment and you're in your presence, it happens all the time. So how, so there's videos in that course. How do I show up in my power? How do I invite people into an experience with me, as opposed to like, grasping for, I gotta fill my programs. It's really, really a whole different energy. So the Awaken Your Business program is at drkimd.com/AYB. And I'm doing a free webinar this week on Thursday, which is the 27th, I think. For anyone who wants to come learn more about this, learn more about how do you activate that power within you that lets you share something higher. Melissa, I want to bring this to OB, my clinical specialty. It's huge in obstetrics because, I mean, if you've ever had a baby, you're in this process and it opens you to like the magic of life, right? This whole part of your body is opening and creating, and to have a doctor who's like super clinical, like here's what you need to do, and versus someone who's in their presence and I'm like, here I am in my body, it helps a patient get into hers as well and helps so much more magic to happen in the body. I had for myself, my daughter was like turned the wrong way before the delivery, and my midwife helped me open so that things could move and turn and rearrange themselves, and she got in a better position. But that's like, you've got to surrender. You've got to let the body do what it does, as opposed to like what most people are doing in medicine is like, I've got to force it. Your body's broken. I've got to fix it. So we're not really working with the health at all. So when we tap within ourselves to our own wisdom, we show up differently. We show up differently for our patients. We show up differently for our body. We show up differently for our kids, our relationships. So I think it's one of the most powerful things that we can possibly do is to become, hello, Brittany, metamorphic mind, to become more conscious and let more of like the true self show up, as opposed to just like the fabricated self of who I think I'm supposed to be. So that webinar is free for anybody who wants to jump in. It's at drkimd.com/webinar. But I will be talking more about that process of Awaken Your Business. And for anybody who's awakening and wants to create a life from the core of who you are, this is a really powerful place to do it from. So the link for the program, if you want to check it out, is at drkimd.com/AYB. And the webinar, the free webinar I'll be holding on Thursday, is at drkimd.com/webinar. I had such an amazing experience this weekend, so I feel now like I know everybody so much more intimately, and I feel like besties with everybody who was a part of this. Like it was such a deep connection and such a deep opening for so many people. Pedro, the event with Kyle was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. Melissa, we are not creating the illness. We are holding the blocks to health. Yeah. And that was an important thing for me to remind that person of, because she's like, wait a minute, I'm creating this illness. Like that becomes a problem. I'm creating this illness. How do I stop doing that? Versus like, oh, there's stuff I'm holding. That's like blocking my manifestation and blocking my acceleration and blocking, what wants to get created in my life. What if I were to let those things go? Even though I don't know what they are and I don't know how, what if I would? Because the more we accept where we are, as we are, how we are, the more power we have to make those changes. And that's one of the big things that I talked about this weekend in the workshop was like, why, and actually it will be in tomorrow's live stream, Wednesday, tomorrow's broadcast from Mind Body TV, why increasing your frequency changes your manifestation so powerfully, right? Because It's not about what we're doing. It's not about the stuff. It's about who am I being? And how can I be 2% more of my wholeness, right? And that's a lot of times just accepting where I am as I am, how I am. Because acceptance is such a higher frequency than resistance, right? Acceptance versus rejection. So, so excited for this. My heart. Oh, you're a lovey. I've been having dreams about this. Melissa, because I feel I can't stay in the current 3D field anymore. I need to run. So drop into that pain. It will guide you, or what's under the pain will guide you. So drop into the pain without running, because that won't actually really work. But if you drop into the pain and breathe like in your solar plexus, breathe in your second chakra, breathe in your womb, bring breath where there has been tension, right? Where there hasn't been life, it will open up those spaces, and then the guidance comes in and you'll be shown. And it literally opens up, like Sandra Byrne said in The Secret, but I think it was a quote from The Hero's Journey, will open up doors where there were once walls. Joseph Campbell. There would be doors where there once were walls. So there are a lot of people that were at the event this weekend who were like in the healthcare system, nurses, or, people who were like, I can't be in the system anymore. This is so toxic. It's like, there's no space for what I'm really here to be. And we could fight against that or push against that or try to run from it, but it actually just strengthens it. But if we surrender and remember and accept this as it is, where it feels dense, where it feels heavy, where I feel powerless, and I embrace a possibility of something else showing up, right? As I show up in my power, something else will show up in my life, because life is a reflection of what's happening in me. So I'm really excited to hear what happens for each of you with applying that, either what we did in the live stream and in the event this weekend. It was really, really powerful. And I'm going to share that link again, because I just think that was one of the most powerful things I've created. And for so many people, people are really ready for this in a way maybe people weren't so much before. It was like, what? Because I shared a lot of the science of like our energy field, how we play with that, what it's doing, why sometimes it seems like things aren't working in our favor, and then how to actually access power. It's easy. So if you'd like to have the live stream recording, it's at drkimd.com/Dallas. And for those of you who are moving forward into like a business or an expression of something higher than what the work is that you're currently doing, and you're like, I don't know how that's supposed to look, or I know I'm doing something really powerful, but yeah, I want to be in synchronicity with that so people can find me easily, instead of in the graspy, 3D world of separation, like, I gotta fill a program. Whoa, erase the chalkboard of that. How do I invite people who are already looking for what I'm about to come into this relationship, to come into this commitment, to invest in themselves and taking a journey for something more powerful? This is our beautiful, let me show you what we've got here. We got a lot of clouds today, which doesn't usually happen, but that's our beautiful mountain range, the La Platas. It's so amazing out here in Colorado. We're going to ski this weekend. I'm so glad to share this with you. We have this incredible, beautiful place. This was an awesome manifestation, years back when we first found out about Durango. It was definitely a really amazing synchronicity that I met someone who lived here while I was looking at real estate in California, which was not going to be where I was going to fit, but I thought it was. And she said, before you buy anything, you have to come and look at Durango. And I immediately knew this was the place. When we live our life in synchronicity, or when we live our life just in connection with ourselves, the synchronicities can show up, the abundance can show up, the blessings can show up. And it hasn't always been like complete bliss every moment. But each year by year by year in my life, as I've connected more fully with myself, I've let in way more of living in the joy and the bliss of what life is really meant to be. So for those of you who are ready to create in your lives, in your business, as an entrepreneur, as a doctor, a healer, a coach, how to create it as a business, because that happens a lot too. It's like, well, this comes easy to me. How can I charge money? That's not, you've got to give yourself permission. It's okay to play in the realm of exchange and use money as a monitor of that exchange, and let go of making money be the power or money be the value, because you are the value. What comes through you is the value. So the Awaken Your Business program is now available. It's at drkimd.com/AYB. And the free webinar will be on Thursday at drkimd.com/webinar, where I'll kind of bring you more into the journey that led me there. Like, why was this such a powerful thing to learn, to participate in my 5D self, which is where the power is, right? Oneness. I already am connected with everyone, everywhere. How do I access that to let business structures be created, to let connections with clients show up who are like receptive? Because sometimes clients who are not receptive, that shows up, and you've got to look at, like, where is that a reflection of me? People will be like, why are you charging money for this, right? Oh, is there, if it triggers you, it's because it's a reflection of something in you that's ready to release. So is it like, do you actually not believe you have that value? Do you actually not believe that you're worthy of receiving at that level? There's so many things we hold, but like I said to the person last week, you're not creating the illness, you're creating the blocks to health. And so it's the same thing. You're not creating lack, you're creating the blocks to true wealth and true abundance. And sometimes we just don't feel worthy of that. And so it's a great idea to kind of look at, what do I need to do to let that go? Because you can. Yes, exactly ready, Karen Boyer McCarthy. I love you, Dr. Kim. I love you, Melissa Rose. I'm so excited to hear more about what you're doing. Renaissance Redhead, you beautiful woman. I feel such a big shift lately about releasing the idea that there's still something in the way of my desires or who I want to be. Yes. Yeah, fall in love with your now self and your now moment, which takes great courage. It takes great courage. And even like, when the body goes through something like illness or whatever, we clamp up and resist those sensations and those symptoms. But if we would relax and soften into them, the energy will move through the body, and then there's no illness, right? Because it's like pain is the energy that we don't let it move. We're holding, chronic pain and fibromyalgia, and it's just, where am I not letting energy flow through me? Physical, mental, or emotional. It will solidify as physical pain. And the same thing with like inflammation, all the inflammatory illnesses. Fibromyalgia is definitely inflammation as well, but like rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, just food intolerances, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's. Like I could go for 20 minutes and keep naming all these chronic illnesses, but it's like the generalized inflammation, tension, resistance that we hold in our physical body is what is keeping the health from happening. So what would it take for me to surrender into my moment even just a little bit more fully? That's where we become more receptive, and that's where energy can move. Pililui, it's so empowering to realize the difficulties that you went through were something you created instead of something that happened to you. The knowledge brings freedom to know that you can create something so different. Yeah, and like I had said this weekend, one of the main pillars of that is forgiveness. Because if I'm making it wrong that I created it this way, or I'm judging it, I'm judging myself, I'm not going to let myself have clarity. I'm not going to let myself see what else is there, because I'm just going to beat myself up with it even more. Versus if I'm like, oh yeah, I am holding that. I am holding that I don't deserve it. I am holding that it's not safe. I am holding tension, right, in ways known and unknown. Yeah, I don't need to make it wrong. Then I can just see it. And as soon as I see it with that level of acceptance, it's gone. It's already changed, right? Because your awareness is the medicine. All right, I love you guys. And yes, talking about in terms of my clinical work, Melissa. Yeah, so much is ready to change in medicine. And I think like so many doctors are waking up to, it's not, because I thought it was me. Why can't I just be a better ER doctor? Why can't I just be like everybody else and make this work? I was miserable. And I kind of made myself wrong for being so miserable because like everyone else seemed fine. And a lot of times they're not, but you don't see it. And then sometimes like they are fine because like that's how their system is designed to work. But it definitely wasn't how my system was designed to work. And so I had to really honor that like maybe my system is designed to work in a way that I will have total joy and competence, but it will be in a whole different realm, which of course is like definitely the case. But it was really hard. Like, why can't I just make it work? I think there's like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of doctors who are in that space of like, something doesn't feel right here. Either in the beginning part of it or the, oh my God, there's not enough Prozac in the world part of it. Realizing, okay, what if I stop trying to fit myself into that, round peg in a square hole kind of equation? What if I start listening? What's right about this I'm not getting? Maybe I'm not supposed to fit into that paradigm. Maybe there's something else for me that I haven't conceived of yet. And then that's the path. It's like, how do I open? And in Awaken Your Business, that's really what I've guided you through is like, how do I open? How do I let that awareness guided in how I'm creating my work in a whole new way? How do I get guided in who it's for, what it is? How do I talk about it? It can be really easy. So there's like specific structures in the course that guide you through each of those processes because it's here for you. Like life is guiding you just like it's guiding everybody else. It's not, you're not actually deficient. So you have to believe in the spark that says, whoa, there's something bigger, there's something else possible. Or the opposite of that, the heaviness of like, I don't want to stay here. That's the same thing. Doesn't feel the same, but it's the same thing. It's guidance letting you know this is not where you're meant to be. Something else is possible. All right, I love you guys. So the webinar, it'll be Thursday. It's at drkimd.com/webinar. You can register for that. And I look forward to connecting more fully and creating an amazing world where we each are really doing what we're here to do and serving an amazing purpose, an amazing calling, an amazing contribution, but one that really fills us and feeds us and allows us to be in abundance too. Certainly very different from conventional medicine right now. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.